That down? Let's move on to this, shall we? Listen, it's got to be said, one of the truly best streaming services there are right now, and I mocked them before they launched, Apple TV. I remember they did, you guys have heard me talk about this, they did that big launch day announcement where they brought out all the stars of their first rounds of shows, and I said, this was the most uninspiring, flat, boring kind of presentation panel thing I've ever seen. This thing's going to flop on its face, but you know what? I love Apple TV Plus. I simply love it. I mean, I can't even remember half the shows that are amazing on it. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible what they've been able to do on and some of the, I mean, just look, even if all they had was Ted Lasso and Shrinking, that's all they need. And they're instantly.
How dare you forget For All Mankind?
Of course, For All Mankind.
How dare you?
Also, the first thing they promoted, I believe, was the morning show.
I was about to say the morning show with Jennifer Aniston, a show that I thought looked totally throwawayable. And I'm not the target demo, but I finally got around to watching it like after it started, and I'm like, holy crap, this is a really good show. Like, they don't do the Netflix quantity game. They strictly play more by the HBO quality game, and maybe even a little bit more extreme. And they've just been absolutely fantastic. I mean, show after show after show after show that they put out just continues to be top-notch television, rivaling even HBO. But do they make money? The answer apparently is no, and they lose a lot of it. The Wrap put up this report today that Apple loses $1 billion a year on Apple TV Plus claims reports. As streaming service has 45 million subscribers, according to the information. Apple is reportedly losing more than $1 billion annually on its streaming service, Apple TV Plus, according to the information. The company, led by CEO Tim Cook, is typically reticent about sharing details on how Apple TV is performing on its quarterly earnings. Apple TV Plus is lumped together with other parts of his business, like Apple Music and iCloud storage, under the services banner. And their services banner make $26 billion a quarter. They're making like $100 billion a year, up 14% year over year. But based on the information's report, Apple services sector is actually performing well in spite of Apple TV Plus losing money. All right. It's important to understand, I think, that Apple TV Plus is rather unique amongst the streaming, much like Amazon Video is unique. Like, Amazon Video is not really a standalone service. Amazon is kind of bundled in with just being an Amazon Prime member, right? Like, I've never signed up for Amazon Video, even though they put out some great stuff. I signed up because I want to be a Prime member because I want to get those free 1 and 2 day deliveries, and they just happen to bundle it in, make it a value add-on.
Yeah.
Apple seems to treat Apple TV Plus kind of like that. It is a value add-on in their overall services category. Really, it should be its own thing. It shouldn't be lumped under iCloud storage. It should be its own thing. But still, whereas everything else under Apple services, Apple Music, Apple News, their workout stuff, iCloud, obviously, they're all profitable. They all make a lot of money. But Apple TV Plus is a loss leader in that. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's episode, BetterHelp. Listen, guys, you know, if you've been listening to me for any amount of time, that I really believe that we need to start prioritizing our mental health. I often compare it to this. You know, when we go to the gym to get ourselves more physically healthy, we see that as a positive step. We need to start looking at our mental health the same way and prioritizing our mental health. And that's where BetterHelp comes through. Therapy should feel accessible, not a luxury just for people who have lots of money. With online therapy, you get quality care at a price that makes sense and can help you with anything from anxiety to to everyday stress. If you want to look at the numbers, traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session, which adds up fast. But with BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save, on average, up to 50% per session. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. Your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/Campea today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Campea. Rob, I think we agree that the quality of stuff on Apple TV Plus is insanely
Well, just
good.
the picture that was just up. Can you put that picture up again?
Yeah.
Look at this picture. Shrinking.
Silo.
Masters of the Air, Bad Sisters, Silo,
Morning Show.
Old, what's this? The Gary Oldman Show, which is amazing. Severance, Disclaimer, Bad Monkey. And that doesn't even have For All Mankind on there. And the Bird Box, that was a limited series that they did.
Disclaimers on there, which everybody seems to rave about.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like you said, the quality of these shows, and Silo is a literary sci-fi adaptation. It isn't Foundation. Is Foundation Apple?
it's
Yes.
Foundation
Yeah.
is also
So-
Apple TV.
so-
Yeah, and Foundation's fantastic.
And even though I don't like the show,
Oh, I do.
Invasion. I was going to say the
Oh,
most
Invasion.
boring.
Right.
I mean, the one thing about
Shut your
Apple
mouth.
shows is even the shows that I don't particularly like have a sheen to them. They are shooting high for their entertainment. They are always there's nothing lowbrow. I mean, maybe they need their own version of Love is Blind, but I hope they don't ever do that because I really do like the fact that these shows are old dogs. What is the name of the Gary Oldman spy show? It's
Slow Horses.
Slow Horses.
Old dogs get
dogs.
slow horses.
Why can't I get the name? That show's amazing too. And that show just keeps getting better and better and better. And I do think, even the look of their shows,
Yes.
their shows look great.
Premium.
And a lot of the yes, they all look premium.
Ray
They have
is a fan, if you guys can't
they have
tell.
a certain sheen to them. And I think that, like you said, look, if you're bundling all of your services together under services and they're making $26 billion a quarter, over $100 billion a year, you could carve out Apple Plus, Apple TV and say, yeah, it's losing money, but it's still part of a larger ecosystem that is very profitable. So you can say that, okay, it's like when CBS News, their news division, like 60 Minutes, was not profitable. But their news was, you could believe in it. And their news division had integrity. That's what Michael Mann's movie The Insider is all about. Like they're not gonna bow to big tobacco. So I kind of like that Apple is doing this. Now, I hope one day somebody isn't wiser and going, we can't keep losing $1 billion on this division. I hope they continue to do so.
Well, that leads to the bigger question, though. That leads to a bigger question here. Seriously, we just saw that list of shows, and I'm sure there's some we missed.
Yeah.
Why? Because right now they're
And
saying
movies like Killers of the Flower Moon.
listen, that they're saying right now that Apple has 45 million subscribers. That would wedge Apple TV Plus just between Peacock at 36 million subscribers and Hulu at 53 million subscribers. By the way, I really enjoy Peacock and I love Hulu, but with that lineup, with that brand name, and with the high quality of shows, why is Apple TV Plus trailing so far behind the leaders in the streaming thing? They deserve to be up there. The sheen you were pointing out, the professionalism, the high quality.
I think it's just their library. I think a lot of the other ones have the network television shows that have been on for like 10 seasons.
Well, at least Netflix does.
Yeah. Well, Hulu does too. They have like all the ABC shows that were popular.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
What's that show called with Terry Hatcher? The Housewives show. All those things that were back in the day.
Even
very
Desperate
Max-
popular.
Housewives.
Even
Yeah.
Max has representation in that world.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, they just have that catalog. My problem when I look at Apple TV Plus is I've already watched most of the things I wanted to watch, and then they don't have the things that you could go back and watch a catalog of. That's why I don't know. They just need to have a bigger life. Their quality of their stuff is magnificent.
So
Everything.
are you saying that it's just going to take time for them to make more and more shows so their library
I
grows?
just think a lot of people are only picking one service. It's expensive right now. everything is
But
expensive.
isn't Apple TV Plus like one of the cheapest?
Yeah,
services
yeah,
out
but
there?
still, if you can only choose one, it's like I'll go with the tried and true Netflix or the Hulu that has the shows I want to watch or been wanting to watch.
Well, that kind of leads me to like, are they going to have to start raising prices?
Well, I want to get your take on that. Like, why do you think more people aren't subscribing to Apple TV Plus, especially with the shows being so good?
To be honest, their shows are highbrow. You know, there's not comfort food shows. Like you can sit there. They don't have like
There's
you
no
can-
ow my balls.
Yeah.
or
Food
Friends or you know or yeah. There's none of those, and I think that's by design. You know, the thing about look, Apple was always a trailing. They were never they weren't like Dell or something. They were always in kind of second place in terms of what kind of computers were out there. But
Right.
I mean, I've been an Apple fan since I got a Macintosh in 1986. You know, and I've always been I ain't PC. I'm the Mac. You know, I've always been that guy, and I think that's what they've always kind of done. And I think they made a conscious effort to make this kind of programming, that they wanted programming that they could look at as a company and point to it and go, this is great television. They have a diversity of kinds of shows. Like when they do a feel-good comedy, it's Ted Lasso. You know, they're doing something that's really interesting and unique. And so the people, it might be an acquired taste, but hey, they're doing a Russian spin-off of For All Mankind called Star City, which is going to show us the Russian point of view, which I think is pretty ballsy in this day and age. I can't wait. I just wish one day Apple would get in control of Star Trek.
Well, that's actually, I was going to say that they don't have access to a lot of the large IP.
Right.
Like Max, Hulu,
Right,
Disney
right.
Plus has, even Netflix to a large. You know, they don't have game shows. They don't have, you know, so those are things they could probably pick up on to improve that.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? Apple is, according to the reports, losing like $1 billion a year on Apple TV Plus, even though their overall services bundle, which it's a part of, is extremely profitable. Why do you think more people aren't signing up for Apple TV Plus? I mean, it might be the best streaming services out there if you're talking about a pure episode or like project by project quality base, like right up there with HBO and Max. So why is it losing money? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.